Right. So, who wants to know what goes on in that room?
Yes.
Okay. Let me give you a taster of that. So, the reason we do it separately is men and women are different, right? And that's, I think there are some people who think that shouldn't be the case. We all need to be the same, but I disagree. Men and women are different, and we need to embrace that and celebrate that. And I'll come back to that and how we come together and work and should work together. But for men, Morella tagline is how to empower a woman. You give her a microphone and she gets you women up and speaking and saying who you are, what your business is, and what your products and services are. Men, we have slightly different needs. So we are fixers. There's no problem we can't fix. And I'm sure that must drive you insane when you're trying to talk to your partners. You want to connect with them, you want them to listen, but all they see is a problem that they can jump in and fix. Do you know what? You need to do this. No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to listen to me. The problem with it, though, with men being fixers, is when we have our own challenges, our own problems, we must be able to fix them because we're fixers. If we can't fix our own challenges, our own problems, we're weak. We're not men. There's shame there. And men, we can retreat into our little man caves and put our heads down and we won't come out until we fixed our own problem. And by and large, day to day, that's not a major issue, but it can become a major problem for men, particularly when they've got big challenges they can't get over. So one of the things, not the only thing, but one of the things we do in that closed room is we invite men to come in. We all sit around the table, no one's standing at the front, so there's no leader, and say, air a challenge. Bring a challenge in. It could be anything. It could be personal, could be health, could be relationships, wealth, business, anything. Air that challenge. And when they do that, two things happen. Firstly, once they've aired it, the people in the room are not sitting there going, oh, you're less of a man. Shame on you. They go, that reaction doesn't happen. So you immediately got over that hump. If I share that challenge, people will think less of me. Second thing that happens, you're in a room full of fixers. So what do? They start trying to help. Some of them will have had similar problems that they can relate to. Some of them will have products or services which might be relevant. Others will have people in their network that can help. And soon we're generating a huge amount of value in that room. And Morella will tell you, when the difference between the men that go into that room and the men that come out is night and day. They feel a lot lighter, they look a lot lighter. She can see and feel the difference. So that's why we do our own thing. We're trying to help address some of the things that hold men back. Second thing I want to cover, though, is why I think it's important that we have global men and global women. So I spent 26 years working for one company, my last company. I only left in April last year. And for 10 years while I was working there, I was sitting on what was called the Diversity Council. And we did some great work. We managed to massively increase the number of people joining the firm from diverse backgrounds. So not just gender diversity, but all pillars. Secondly, we managed to help people progress through the organization. And thirdly, we did, and this is where we fell short though, I feel, we did manage to improve the awareness of diversity amongst white straight men. And I'll be honest, when I started work and before I joined that Diversity Council, I thought diversity was a nice thing to do, the right thing to do even, but I hadn't really thought about it. And over my time working on that council, I got to understand that actually by embracing diversity, it's so much more than that. We will perform much better as a diverse organization, and not just in measurable results like the financials. And there's plenty of research that shows that diverse organizations outperform those that are not diverse. But it's more that, staff turnover drops. People are happier. People enjoy coming to work. It's a better place to be. But I said we didn't do a good enough job of that. We did start to scratch that surface. But the one thing we didn't do, and I think the thing we've got an opportunity to explore across global men and global women, is how men need to step back and think, should I change the way I show up in order to maximize the benefits of working with women, maximize the benefits of diversity? And I think we do need to. The reason for that is, if I look at the culture that existed in that company I worked for, it was shaped over the last 200 plus years that company had existed. It was very masculine, and not just masculine. It was, what's known as the shadow or wounded masculine. It was very competitive. People were controlling, almost abusive. And in order to succeed, you had to step into that frame. So we had all these women joining the firm, and then we had to get them stepping into this masculine frame saying, put your femininity to one side. And I think we're losing the benefits that we should have got from diversity. And we have an opportunity to look at that and help men understand how they're used to operating in what was a man's world, but they need to change the way they show up.